Okay, engine off. Bring her in.
Today on Squally Heifer Adventures, we head out in 20-mile-an-hour winds that were gusting up to 34, according to the weather. After I came back in that afternoon, that's what it said. We were steady 20, and the maximum gusts at the time we were out were about 34 miles an hour.
On reef, no jib. We are 20 plus mile an hour. We are white capping like crazy out here. I didn't bring my wind meter. Wind's coming from this direction. Let's head on out here and then we'll head back. We'll stay on the beam reach as much as we can. Got the fenders out still. Haven't brought them in. I'm about a 10-degree heel, 15 in the gust right now with the main only. I reefed it at the dock before I came out. Too much push here. I'm gonna jibe it. We're gonna go the other way. Nice roller.
That noise you're hearing is the propeller. It was spinning. I still had it in forward gear, and the speed of the boat was just making it spin, so it took me a while to figure it out. But what I did is I put it in reverse, locked it into gear, so that way it wouldn't spin anymore. With the wind that I had and the amount of energy being put on the boat, I wanted a quick way to turn that engine on, so I left it in the water instead of taking it out this time.
Got too much of a downwind push here. That was too close to the shallows. Yeah, I wasn't for enough windward to make that work. So I just decided to go ahead and jibe and come away from that shallow before I beached myself. Let's go ahead and jibe. Downwind. There we go. Bring it over. There we go. Bring it back. On the beam reach. On a full beam reach right now. I had to let out the main a little. We're still going to about a 15-degree heel. This is definitely well above 20-mile-an-hour winds. Last time I was at 20-mile-an-hour winds, I had a little bit of that head sail out and we were holding fine. Right now I'm under main only and we're really being pushed over. Yeah. I'll just go back and forth a few times here. drag it over here to one of my clutches. We'll be able to tighten it down. Go ahead and jibe. Bring her over. Bring her over. See if I can help it over here without it slamming across. She still slammed a little bit. Spray on us here. See the halyard when it pushes on that port side, it's not banging against the mast. I'm definitely going to have to turn on this engine. Near that, or I'm going to have to unfurl that jib if I'm going to get any windward performance out of this boat. And that halyard's banging against the mast again. Alright. You know, I've never touched that halyard. It's an original. It was for the jib. And it looks like they tied it off. Because they added the roller furling jib up there. And it looks like they were using it for a spinnaker. This boat didn't come with a spinnaker. I did buy a pole, a gin pole. I haven't used it yet. There is a spot up there to hold a gin pole on. Ooh. 20-degree heel. That's a gust. Oh yeah, we're getting sprayed. Alright, we are taking too much water up the front there. Leave that hatch open.
Well, if you've made it this far, it's a good time to tell you about what was going on today. The winds were 20 miles an hour, gusting to 34 miles an hour. I did not have my anemometer with me, but what I did have was the ability to go home, look up the history on the internet for the hours that was out there on the lake, and it was saying 20 to 34 miles an hour was the biggest gusts that they had recorded. And I can believe it, because single main, single reef, I was getting some pretty good heels and some pushes on this boat. You know, good 20 degree heels, quite a bit plus. So very comfortable on the boat. Still did not feel out of control. I wasn't worried about it. As you can tell from my voice, I was still calm and saying, hey, you know what, I've already got the experience of sailing in 20-mile-an-hour winds, so I was already used to that from my last trip out in these winds, and this one was, again, it was more wind. The thing is when I first came out, I was wanting to point higher, and I was trying to point higher, but I couldn't. And you can see by that first jibe on that track that I was really close to those shallows. So I had a jibe away, and then I went back and forth. I jibed about 3 more times when I said, you know what, I'm heading too far down this lake. I need to see if I can point to windward. When I tried to point to windward, it was a beam reach, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was on that same stretch of water. I could not point up into the wind. So I definitely need a second or third reef, the ability to unfurl my jib a little, get myself some windward ability, or I need to get a storm jib made so that I can roll over it. I don't know what I want to do yet, but I will need to make some more configurations with this boat. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask this boat to sail in up to 30-mile-an-hour winds and be able to handle itself, especially for a lake. I mean, it's not like we're dealing with 6, 8, 10-foot waves on the lake. I know it doesn't look like it, but we were probably 1.5, maybe 2 feet tops. They weren't extremely big waves. The front hadn't been going on long enough, but they were big enough to get some spray going, and we were getting some spray over the top. But they weren't massive waves. So I think it's good for this boat to sail in any condition. Again, when I get out on the water, I want to go sailing. Whether it's 3-mile-an-hour wind or a 30-mile-an-hour wind or a 20-mile-an-hour wind or 15-mile-an-hour wind. When I have the ability to go out, I want to go out. And I want my boat to perform in whatever winds that are being pushed on me that day. Of course, if it's 40, 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds, hurricanes, I'm not going out, guys. Not that crazy. But I do want to be able to go out and enjoy myself in any conditions. I am not a complete fair weather sailor. I'm more of a, today's the day I gotta go out, so I want to go have fun. And I don't want to put it off because I'm worried about the wind or the weather. I want the boat to be able to perform in it. And let me have my time on the water that I'm allotted. So, it was a very good sail, guys.
Alright, see if we can bring this bad boy over for a jibe. Come on. Some heavy wind. Let's see if we can do this without slamming the main. Have to tighten it in. Can't pull it too tight. There we go. Let's get on the right side here. There she goes. Let her out a bit. Yeah, couldn't hold that one. That was a strong one.
Well, if you've made it this far, like, subscribe, and we do appreciate all the comments that we get on this channel. And Squally Heifer Adventures, we'll see you out on the water.